Do you like space games? Do you like having fun? If you answered yes to either of these questions, you might really like Starsector. Starsector is a game that I have been playing on and off for 3-4 years. I don't want to exaggerate, but I've known about it before it, when it was named something else, and it's a very good, fun game that is getting steadily developed over the years. It is, I don't know how really to describe it. It's a top-down space shooter? No, game. But, it's got, like, fleets, and it's hard to describe. I'm just gonna show you the game. It's hard to describe. So you can start your own campaign, pick your dude, or your lady. This dude's got his 3D glasses on. I don't know why. I guess in the far future, 3D actually caught on. It was a big thing. I'm always this guy, because I love faceless helmeted people. They're my favorite. You got an Iron Man mode, which, of course, you gotta turn on. And, of course, you gotta turn help off. Now, default game, you pick a bunch of options here to kind of set up your character. I always go for Bounty Hunter, that's my kind of jam. I like combat in this game. I'm not so much a trader, but that is definitely an option. You get a wolf, which is my baby. You can pick whether you want to start with good weaponry, good money, or some better crew. Set up your difficulty. Doi. And then if you want automatic skill assignment, auto-assign your own skills. Again, for me, I want to assign those skills myself. Right into combat. Oh, except I also need a point in technology, because I gotta get these sweet stabilized shields. Trust me, these things are the bomb. Alright, let's up our maneuverability, because going fast is really cool. Pretty much every game I like to go fast. I think I just like going fast. Do more damage. Sort of, it's like armor reduction. And we're gonna work our way up to having more missile ammo. That'll come in handy later, trust me. Okay, hit the spacebar. So you've got the map for the sector you're in right now, with planets, they're orbiting around, asteroids, that kind of thing. Then you have the actual map at large of the entire, the entire sector, you know what I mean, bigger than the big place. I'm not a space scientist. Now, what I'm interested in is bounties, because I want to make my cash. I can filter bounties here, and then you can see all the bounties. So this one was made 3 weeks ago. It'll last for another, 15 days or so. And these are basically people with lots of money, the big factions, and they're like, hey, you want to kill a bunch of people we don't like? We'll give you money for it. No, really, just cold hard cash. Also, we'll like you a bit more. Your reputation of us will go up. It's a pretty sweet deal. So what you usually want to do is look around, and you want to find good payouts. Ideally, you want to find systems where there's 2 bounties out at once, and then you can double up your money for everything you kill. But in this case, what, we've got... Oh, this bounty was offered today in Corvus. We got 45 days to hunt down dirtbags, and we're going to get... Holy crap, we're going to get 2,200 credits per kill. For a frigate, and the bigger the ship, the more money, so that's pretty damn good. Also, there is actually 3 wanted criminals in Corvus. One's wanted by the Syndrian Dictat. I'm sorry, it's really their name, it's not their fault. Their hegemony, which are, kind of like the Imperium of Man, in that they're really old, kind of outdated, and I think they're kind of dicks. Don't hate me, I'm an Imperial Guard man. I love them. I'm just, it's true. The Imperium are dicks. And the Ludic Church, who are like, space Mormons? I don't know. They're very serious about their religion in space. Now, these 2 wanted criminal bounties are about to expire. I'm not sure if we can pursue them at this point, because they probably have a reasonably sized fleet, but we can go check it out and see what their fleet looks like. And we can see if we can take these bounties on, because that's a pretty big payoff. Let's take down the names. We got Sol Zhang, Joy Spates, and... I didn't even notice that before. I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's their names. The Syndrian Dictat authorities on Volton have posted a bounty for bringing Dudley Dickerson to justice. Fuck you, Dudley Dickerson. Only we can have Dick in our name. You wanna have a Dick in your name? Get a bounty on you, motherfucker. Alright, so the 2 bounties that are probably gonna expire soonish are hiding out near Moors. Dudley's hiding out near Somnus. I don't think we'll make it to Moors before those 2 bounties expire anyway, so we probably won't worry about them. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Jangala Station. Okay, now you can do a bunch of stuff at the stations. They're very important. You'll find yourself hopping between them all the time. I'm going to take a look at what's for sale just so I can buy it later on maybe. Generally, the open market doesn't have a lot of great stuff. You've got a bunch of transports and shuttles here. Cool tanker though. That carries a lot of fuel. You got the black market, which is like a much cooler store where you can get things for better prices. You can get a better array of things, but some of them are really shitty and dilapidated, like this destroyer. You can see because of the D next to its name. Yeah, unlike the other guys, it actually means something when these guys have a D in their name. And also, the local authority will get mad at you for being on the black market and smuggling, but hey, you ain't got no proof, what are you gonna do about it, right? And then if you get good rep with whoever the local authority is on the base, they usually let you buy from their military, mil-spec stuff, which is pretty good, but we ain't there yet. Okay, so before we head out here, I'm gonna head into the refit screen, and I'm gonna set up my ship the way I want it. So the first thing that's gotta change is, I mean, you can rename the ship, so obviously. Yeah, that's a bit better. There is a lot of different weapons and stuff to choose from. Obviously we don't have all of them right now, we only have a couple choices. But you'll notice that the choice we got when we picked the better weapon in our campaign setup is right here, the Heavy Blaster. So it's gonna give us like 200 or so extra DPS, but it's gonna cost like double the energy per second to fire. I feel pretty comfortable picking and choosing my engagements on the Wolf, so I might be able to get some good like engine hits in, get some good opportunistic shooting with the Heavy Blaster. Plus, it probably sounds way cooler. But you don't have to take anyone's word for it, because there's this handy little button called Run Simulation, which actually lets you matrix mode everything and test everything out before you even take it out into the field, which is incredibly useful. So first, I gotta make up some room though. Now, everything you do to your ship costs OP, ordnance points. Up here at the top, 50 out of 50, we're maxed out right now. And you can add in capacitors that give you more flux capacity, vents that dissipate more flux. Flux is basically your, not so much your mana, but your energy in this game. It's more akin to heat in a mech warrior game, in the sense that having your shield up and taking damage to the shield generates flux, firing weapons generates flux, you know, all sorts of things generate flux, and once you hit a critical max of flux, you will you won't have power to fire, and also if you have your shield up when you get max flux, you will short out for a second and be left like a sitting duck. So managing your flux, or you know, heat, whatever you want to call it, is very important. So having capacitors, you know, again, if you're a Mech Warrior fan, these are heat sinks, and this is, you know, more capacity for heat. So if we keep the venting high to manage the really big gun we're going to put on, well, what can we get rid of? Well, I can get rid of my point defense lasers, because I like to live dangerously. Whoops, put that back on. So we can get rid of all those. I'm just going to stick on the Heavy Blaster. That does sound powerful. Alright, I'm going to leave the point defense lasers off because, again, I like to live dangerously. I'm not exactly running OSHA here, but I am running efficient. And then we can stick on all kinds of hull features and mods. You can get access to extra ones by leveling up your skills. For example, remember I got stabilized shields? That's this one. So basically, as I read it, that reduces the amount of flux you get when you're getting hit through your shield by 50%. That's obviously worth a lot if you're gonna tank with your shield at all. But this one's my thing. I need this one. I'm gonna need to make some room for that. So we're gonna get rid of blast doors because that increases my hull integrity, and I don't plan to get hit on my hull anyway. Unstable injector makes you go fast, but your engines take more damage. And what that means is, if your engines take damage in combat, they're likely to flame out, and again, you'll be left like a sitting duck, which, you know, isn't really a good thing. One more thing I can do here, which is quite important, and I'm going to actually reduce a vent to make room for it, is Harden Subsystems. Now, in Starsector, basically, when you're fighting a battle, certain ships, like smaller ones like the frigate, for example, like the one I'm piloting, they will, the longer the fight goes on, they'll get less and less combat readiness. You know, they'll basically, it means, you know, wear and tear and fatigue and stress of the fight takes its toll on them. So the upshot and the basic of it is, if you are in a fight for too long, you will start to suffer malfunctions, and you won't be as, you know, your ship won't function properly. It won't be at peak performance. This little perk is going to let me function at peak performance much better. So that is going to be important for me, because, well, you'll see when I get into a fight. Alright, let's test this bad boy out. Now, I've got an interesting little mod installed. By default, you can just pick whatever enemies you want. I have an interesting little mod installed called Simulator Overhaul, where you have to fight a ship in a battle to get its information for your sim, and then, you know, you can pick it in the simulator. All we've got by default is the Hound and some Talons, so I'm going to deploy a Hound to fight against, and we'll test it out in the sim. You know this little target bleeding pip too, that's another little mod I got. A couple of good mods for this game, quite a few good ones. So my ship, the Wolf, has an interesting little active ability. Every ship has an active ability. For example, the Hound has like a flare launcher. I have a little mini teleport. I have a blink. Whoop! You can see it on the bottom left. It's the phase skimmer and it's recharging. It stacks up to 3 times. So that's a handy little tool, and that's what makes the wolf so powerful in the hands of the player. The hound, which we're fighting against, has no shields. So honestly, I can just do this, and it's actually generating more heat than it can handle already, even without me really doing anything to it, which is kind of funny. Alright. Whoops, I kind of need to bring my shield up. So, the interesting thing about not having shields is all it has is armor. You don't just deal hull damage straight away to ships, even if you're not hitting through their shield. Basically, every ship has armor as well, and you can see how it's kind of munted on the front now. That's actually damage to the armor. When you see a yellow damage thing come up, the yellow is armor damage and the red is hull damage. You have to beat your way through the armor to actually damage the hull of a ship. So it's very interesting. Just because you've lost your shields doesn't mean you're done. Now if I phase away here, one very good way of managing your heat is dumping your heat with V. Dumping your flux. That's called active flux venting. You can't do anything except move around slowly while you're doing it, but it is a very quick way to get rid of your flux. One more. And it's toast. So this weapon I've got is definitely not as flux efficient as the pulse laser you come with by stock, but it's definitely got some kick to it. I'm not sure which I prefer. I'll have to test it out in an actual fight, I think. Alright, well Dudley Dixon's hiding out near Somnus, so let's go to Somnus. Now I can hold shift to speed up time when we're in this mode as well, which is a nice time saver. Just go around the giant burning hot corona. Oh, here we go. Alright, so we've got here, basically we see the contact but we haven't quite detected them yet. They probably got their transponder off, which is, you know, basically saying they're running with their license plates disabled, if you want to make an easy analog to it. We've got a hegemony detachment that's actually pursuing them, which is makes this really easy, because if I can catch them with emergency burn, which, oh god, no, we're okay. Emergency burn basically pumps some fuel to make you go faster. Now if I can pursue them, I think the hegemony is close enough to help. So basically I'm going to tackle him, I'm going to keep him pinned down, and then the hegemony can come give me a hand. Not that it matters, because his fleet's actually pathetic, and I think I could solo it anyway. But it doesn't matter, because those guys are close enough. I'm going to tackle him in a fight, and it's going to give those guys time to catch up, so I'll fight the battle with them. Dudley Dickerson is very penitent right now. He's being very humble. Unfortunately, he's also a lying dickbag. Alright, they're trying to get away. We're not going to let them. So, we need to disable as many of their ships as we can before they get away. They're trying to route up to the top. Unfortunately, my buddies aren't going to get here in time to really help out. And I'm not going to be able to kill all these ships by myself. But I can destroy as many as I can. And, you know, it's better than nothing. It'll make it easy to hunt him down next. I'm going to go straight for Dickerson's flagship, which I assume is called the HMS Dix. No, it's the Midder. Okay, it's the Midder. Anyway, let's go in. Oh, that's good. They're cutting them off. That's handy. Fuck you, missile! And we're just gonna get right behind the shield arc. And that's a dead baby. Got some torpedo bombers over here to kill. Oh god. Do not shoot me with torpedoes. Oh, and you can have some missiles. That'll do. Nice easy route. I do get to pick through the salvage, so I get to take some of the stuff. I don't get to take all of it because it was an assist fight, but I get to take a little. The scourge of Dickerson is over, and the Dictat are very thankful. Now, if I want to save some time getting back, I can take a hop through this little warp gate here too. Hey, what the hell? It says it gave me 20,000 credits, but I only got 10. Man, the Dictat stiffed me. I can't believe the Dictat stiffed me on the Dickerson case. This is a bunch of balls. Oh shit. I wasn't paying attention. Alright. We're about to get intercepted by 2 lashes, torpedo fleet. We're not really going to get away from them. And you'll notice they're a lot less courteous when they feel like they have the advantage. A little bit. A little bit less. These are all dilapidated. They're all Ds. Defunct, derelict, whatever you want to call them. We got a kite with a swarmer. That's going to be a pain. Oh, no, wait, it's not salamanders, never mind. Salamanders are the devil incarnate. Don't worry, it's only swarmers. Okay, we can definitely take this on. So we're definitely outnumbered, but I got a good feeling about it. I don't know, I could definitely take him on with a pulse laser, but I'm not totally certain how to fight with the heavy blaster. I guess we're gonna learn on the fly, huh? Here we go. I gotta make good use of managing my heat, and I gotta pick off the lone lambs when they go off away from the fleet. No, I don't like this gun at all. Generates too much heat. I can't do these one-on-ones I usually can do. That's good. One down. Oh shit, I shouldn't have vented. I shouldn't have vented! Ugh. We're good. The AI is clever. They will use their missiles when they see you venting, because they know you can't return the favor. And they know you can't shield up. What I can try to do anyway is try to work their shields up, then sit back, vent my flux, and come back in. But you can see his buddies are coming in to flank him to make sure. It's almost, I think he actually knows that he's getting overheated, and he kind of falls back to let his buddies take the front. So it's hard with all of them flanking me. Now having the shield up at all raises my flux generated. So if I can stay out of range and snipe at him without having my shield up, that's going to be more efficient for me in this sort of war of heat efficiency. Nice! Another one bites the dust. Alright, I'm getting close to hitting my peak performance limit now. I'm gonna start taking some serious malfunctions if I don't finish this fight soon, but the plus side is they should be taking malfunctions too. And now let's get to work on these guys. Yeah, see this guy? He's gonna be fucked up soon. Alright, he just had an engine flame out. Ah. Couldn't bring my gun to bear in time. He's got a shield that can go in all directions. This one's an easier mark. This guy's shield only covers his front. So if I can try to get behind him. Right in the engine block. Here we go again. Nice. We've eaten all the way through that armor. We're giving serious damage to that guy now. Right past his shields. And then it was just this guy. Now this guy's having engine flameouts all over the place. He's got 5% of his peak performance, well, 5% of combat readiness left, basically. But I'm gonna skip right through his shield. Oh, shit! That was nasty. I probably lost some crew off that. I shot before I raised my shield. Took a lot of hull damage. I almost killed myself off that. His explosion tore my ship up a bit. Yeah, I lost a couple guys from that reckless shot. Sorry, my bad. I guess I'm the real dick. But we did take him down. Get their supplies. I'm gonna ditch some of this extra cargo that isn't really worth that much. All good. See, when you're running with more supplies than you can carry, as seen here, it makes you use more supplies a day. Supplies are very important. These are the food and parts and everything that keeps the fleet going. After every fight, your combat readiness is kind of reduced based on the deployment and how long you're in the fight. We're in that fight forever. Our combat readiness is rock bottom, basically. Now, the better your crew, the higher it can go as max. But all you really need to know is that it costs supplies to recover this. So when you're not at max combat readiness and you haven't turned off the repairs, you'll be chewing up supplies every day to get back to combat readiness. Hey, we leveled up too. We leveled up a lot. Shit, I haven't been paying attention to this at all. Alright, so level up the aptitudes, and then it raises how many max points you can put into things. A couple more of this. A couple more of this. A couple more of this. Alright, we want to get back to... Ooh, I got 11,000 credits for that, that's good. We want to get back to the whatchamacallit. So let's jump through hyperspace to get back quicker. Fold space-time and all that. Go straight back to Jangala. Going through hyperspace costs fuel. So, you know, it's basically the cost of fuel to move around quicker. And of course, when it comes to things like moving between systems, it's not an option. You have to use hyperspace. Alright, let's get some new guys, which I totally won't accidentally kill in a terrible accident this time. You can hire different veterancies. The less experience they have, the cheaper they are. But the secret is, you can level them up in combat. So I'm going to just buy a bunch of total rookies in true XCOM fashion. And I'm going to teach them on the job. which I like. It makes me feel good. Sell some of this heavy machinery for a pretty good price. The problem with the open market is you have to pay tax and everything, which kind of sucks. I could sell on the black market and not pay tax, but you know, the same market where you can buy harvested organs, but then they'll get mad at me. So, for something as small as a couple of heavy machineries, I won't bother. Alright, let me stick this pulse laser back on, because honestly, I'm not nearly as good with the heavy blaster as I am with the pulse laser. Now, when you're in a dockyard, you can also just instantly repair for the same cost of supplies it would have cost you, which is a nice way to just speed it up, the process. Alright, I got my guys. We should go find some more bounties. Let's just go fly out to Pirate Central and see what they think. So as we come into Pirate Central, I'm going to turn off my transponder. Basically, that makes it so the pirates can't see who I'm affiliated with. They don't really know who I am, and I'm detected at a smaller range. But people do get mad at you. The authorities will get mad at you for having your license plate off, basically. So you got to watch out. Like, I wouldn't want to go near them because I have my transponder off and they'd get mad. These guys, on the other hand, that looks like a fairly lightly defended supply convoy. Yep, that's a pirate smuggler detachment. And I am going to take what I can get. So we get paid per frigate, don't forget, so engaging a big fleet like this, it's a good payday. Now this Vigilance is a problem. He's got a Harpoon MRM pod, he's going to be constantly chucking missiles at me. And he's got a pulse laser just like me. This thing is basically like a missile support boat. It's not meant to get in fights itself, it's meant to support. Now they didn't even know who I am because my transponder's off, which is kind of funny. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the comlink and engage. So I want to take out that Vigilance first because that thing is going to be chucking... God, actually no, wait. The Hound's an easy picking because it has no shield. I'll take it out first. Couple of missiles for you, buddy. Hound's dead. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, we're good. Okay. I'm gonna sit back, reset my flux, so we're on an even start. And then I'm just gonna try and fight it in a war of attrition, because I'm pretty sure I have better capacity for heat than he does. But we'll see. Yeah, see, I'm winning that heat war easily. He's forced to take his shield down to not overload. So you can see we've already done some good work here. He's all munted on the front. We've taken out a lot of his armor plating. It's not his fault. The Vigilance is just not made for a straight up fight. It's a support frigate first and foremost. Meant to chuck missiles. Alright, take his shields down. Now he's going to drop his shields to not overload. I'm going to launch the missiles, and he's got no choice. He either dies to the missiles, or he dies to getting overloaded by taking the missiles on his shield. Poor little Vigilance. Okay, now, they only sent out the combat ships to engage me, but there's still a whole bunch of fuel transports, shuttles, and cargo ships to take out. Now, the more of these I can take out and don't let get away in the about to happen pursuit, you know, the more scrap I'm going to get and the more I'm going to get paid. So I want to look at their speeds. You can see that one's slow as hell. Slow. Shuttle's pretty fast. Alright, so priority, we want to hit the fuel tankers and the Hermes first. Now the Wolf's a good pursuit ship. It's one of the fastest in the game. And it's got the phase skimmer. I gotta watch out for his little drones he's sending out. But I won't get all these ships, but I can get a few. Now, when you're not using any energy at all, you actually go faster. You have it's called a zero flux engine boost. So if I fire a couple of missiles at these shuttles, I'm gonna force them to bring up their shields. That's gonna let me catch up with them even easier. Alright, sucker's down. Again, we're gonna engage him. He has to bring up his shield. Alright, we got another tanker down. Now that thing's probably gonna get away, but I can try to catch the kite that I just saw fly past me. Yeah, he retreated to the right. But we got a couple of the fuel transports, and that's good. So a good bunch of their stuff got away. Ah, one of the transports is left alive. I don't really do much boarding in this game. You can board when you have Marines. Marines are very expensive, but you guys know me. I like to keep my guys alive. And what I really hate about the boarding in this game is you really can't board in a fashion that doesn't end up getting people killed all the time. I tried boarding a kite yesterday. I bought 20 Marines. I tried boarding a kite. That thing had one crew member left alive on it. I boarded with 20 Marines in power armor, and apparently the pilot killed 7 Marines, which I lost for boarding the kite, so I just don't really bother with boarding anymore. It just, it makes me sad. So instead, we're just gonna blow that wreckage up. Well, we got a lot of supplies out of that, way more than we can carry, sadly, so it's a bit of a waste. Well, we can't carry it all, so we're gonna have to ditch it. Now, we've made ourselves quite a little fortune, so if only there was ships I actually wanted to buy here, we could go ahead and start setting up a little fleet, but all of these ships are kind of crappy. So I don't really want to buy any of them. I have to... what I'd actually do is I'd bring up the sector map, and I'd say, let's see, hey, there's a bunch of bounties over here in Azlatan, there's a couple of bounties in Duzak. Let's go to these different sectors through hyperspace, go pick those guys off, get some cash, and while we're on the job, we can check out the local stations, see what they've got to offer for sale for our fleet. Weapons, you know, ships, that kind of thing. Now that'll take a while, obviously. This is a good game to play if you've got a lot of time on your hands. Like, it's fun to just play regardless. Let me go out to menu. And, you know, if you haven't got a lot of time, you can just play some missions, just straight up missions that are in here. There's a whole bunch of different scenarios, and you've got a random battle option where every time you select it, you get a different fleet, they get a different fleet. You can set up your fleet, refit them, it's quite cool. But you know, if you've got time to sink in the campaign, man, you can play this game for like a week straight and just not stop. It's addictive and it's very, very fun to set up your fleet. However, luckily for you, you don't have to wait to see, because here's one I prepared earlier.